They say home is where the heart is, but mine was thrown out at 17. Right along with a trash bag full of clothes. Now, the man who once called me a burden stands at my door, asking for a place inside the house I built without him. My name is Lena Carter. I was 17 when my father told me I wasn't built for success. It wasn't some heat-of-the-moment insult. No, he said it calmly, like he was doing me a favor. Like the sooner I accepted my place in the family, the easier life would be for everyone. "You're the spare," he said, not even looking up from his newspaper. "Your brother's the heir. You're just extra." That moment carved something into me. Not anger, not right away. Just the quiet ache of realizing I was invisible in my own house. My brother. Ethan was the golden one. Varsity quarterback. Honor roll. The kind of kid who could crash the family car and still get praised for how maturely he handled the insurance claim. Meanwhile, I, Lena, was the difficult one. The one who talked back, who didn't smile enough, who apparently made everyone uncomfortable just by wanting to be heard. Ethan got a car at 16. I got a curfew that made me miss every birthday party I was ever invited to. He had a Lakeview bedroom, a new phone every year, and parents who called him champ. I had hand-me-down sneakers, attitude problems, and a mom who sighed every time I walked into the room. Still, I tried. God, I tried. I worked part-time at a diner after school, studied late, and even helped Ethan with his algebra homework when he started slipping. I thought maybe, if I could prove my worth, they'd see me. But the truth is, some people don't want to see you succeed. They want you small enough to never challenge the story they tell about themselves. The summer before senior year, Ethan wrecked his car. Drunk, speeding, completely totaled it. He came home at 2 a.m, blood on his forehead, shaking. "Please, Lena," he begged, "don't tell them. I can't lose Dad's trust. He'll kill me." And like the fool I was, I took the blame. I said I borrowed the car. I crashed it. I thought maybe my loyalty would earn me a sliver of respect. Instead, my dad just stood there, face unreadable, and said, "Pack your things. You've embarrassed this family enough." That night, I sat in a bus shelter with $12 and a trash bag of clothes. It rained, one of those endless summer storms where the thunder feels personal. The next morning, I went back to the house to grab my backpack for school. Waiting on the porch was the trash bag I'd left behind, and a note in my father's handwriting. "You're on your own now. Learn something from this." I read it twice. Then I folded it and tucked it into my jacket pocket. I didn't know it then, but that piece of paper would one day hang framed on my office wall. No one checked on me. Not once. My mom told people at church I'd run away. Ethan went to Florida with his girlfriend 2 weeks later. I survived by working night shifts at a gas station, sleeping in the storage room when the manager wasn't looking. Silence became my new family. 3 years later, I earned an associate's degree from community college. By then, I'd moved 3 towns over to a small apartment above a bakery. The owner, Mrs. Jacobs, let me use her Wi-Fi to build a freelance marketing business. I'd learned design, SEO, ads, everything from free YouTube tutorials and sheer desperation. By 21, I was consulting for half the local shops downtown. I saved every penny. I didn't splurge, didn't take vacations, didn't even buy new clothes. Just worked, built, rebuilt. Then one day, my life changed, not because of some dramatic twist, but because someone finally saw me. The local Chamber of Commerce put up a billboard. Young Entrepreneur Spotlight, Lena Rivers, helping small businesses thrive. It wasn't a massive deal, but to me it was proof that I wasn't a spare. 2 hours after the billboard went up, my phone buzzed. "Mom, is that your face on Route 9? Then Dad's call. Then Ethan's. Then relatives I hadn't heard from in years, suddenly proud, supportive, curious. I ignored every one of them. Because I knew, the moment success becomes visible, the people who buried you start claiming they planted you. The next day, Mom left a voicemail. "We're going through a rough patch. Ethan and Alyssa lost their apartment. Maybe you have a spare room?" A spare room? The irony nearly made me choke. I didn't have a spare room. I had a house, a $750,000 home I bought in cash, and not 1 inch of it was built for them. A week later, I came home from a client meeting and saw their silver Honda Civic parked across the street. My pulse dropped. There she was, my mother, sitting on my porch with a Tupperware container. Banana bread? Her guilt offering. Lena, she said, standing. You look amazing. I didn't hug her. I didn't even step closer. Why are you here? She smiled like this was some casual catch-up. Your brother's been struggling. He and Alyssa just need a place for a little while. You have that extra space, right? I stared at her, stunned by the audacity. You kicked me out with a trash bag and a note, I said quietly. Now you want me to give up my peace for the son you threw me away for? Her face shifted, shame, then defense. We were doing what we thought was right. No, I said. You were doing what was easy, us. And then she said it, the same word that always sliced through me. You're being selfish. I met her eyes and smiled. No, Mom, I'm just done being useful to people who only remember I exist when they need something. I closed the door. She didn't knock again. That night, I lay awake replaying it all. The bus shelter, the note, the years of silence. For the first time, I didn't feel guilt. I felt peace, but I wasn't done. I needed accountability. So I wrote an email, not to them, but to the family. The aunts, the cousins, the uncles who'd whispered that I was troubled. I told them everything. The car crash, the lie, the note, the years of abandonment. Attached screenshots, receipts, even Ethan's old text bragging about how easy it was to get rid of me. Then I hit send. An hour later, my phone buzzed nonstop. Is this real? We had no idea. Your parents said you were on drugs. I'm so sorry. Even Ethan's wife, Alyssa, messaged. I had no idea. He told me you were violent, unstable, that your grandma took you in after you attacked your mom. I feel sick. She left him that night. 7 months pregnant. Apparently, Ethan lost it, yelling, trying to grab her phone. She packed her things and left for her sister's place. She told me my message opened her eyes. I didn't gloat. I just said, you did the right thing, but Ethan couldn't handle exposure. 3 days later, he found me outside my favorite coffee shop. He looked ruined, pale, unshaven, still wearing that high school varsity jacket like it was armor from a past life. You think you're better than me? He sneered. I didn't respond. You always played the victim. You think anyone cares about your sob story? I could smell the beer on his breath. You lied, I said, calm. He laughed, bitter. So what? You survived, didn't you? I opened my car door, looked him in the eye and said, you lied. I thrived, and now you have to live with that. Then I drove away. That night, I had dinner with my grandmother, the only one who never needed proof to believe in me. I told her everything. She just held my hand and said, you did good, honey. You learned. 3 weeks later, she was gone. Cancer. Stage 4. She never told me how bad it was because she didn't want to distract me. She passed in my home, the one she said I deserved. After the funeral, my father showed up again. He looked smaller than I remembered, worn down. I'm signing over Mom's house to you, he said, handing me a stack of papers. Your grandmother said you earned it more than any of us. I didn't say anything. I just nodded. She left me more than a house. She left a truth. Under her bed, I found a wooden box. Inside, her journals. She'd written everything. The lies, the bruises, the neglect. Proof of what they'd done. And at the bottom, a signed deed transfer. She made me her sole heir. At the funeral, my mother stood at the back, all in black, pretending to grieve. When she finally approached me, she asked, "Is it true? Did she leave it all to you?" I looked her dead in the eye. Yes. That night, they left a typed letter on my doorstep. Formal. Cold. Request for temporary accommodation during a period of family transition. Translation. Let us move in. So I wrote them back. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Rivers, thank you for your interest in staying at the residence located at 49 Maplewood Lane. At this time, all rooms are currently occupied by Peace. dignity, and the long overdue scent of lavenders, are unable to accommodate guests who abandoned these values in the past. May you find shelter in the structures you built with your choices. Kindly despair no more. I posted it online, not for revenge, but for truth. And it went viral. Thousands of people commented, messaged, cried, because they knew. There are so many of us, the spares, the ones they threw away only to beg from later. But spare parts don't stay broken. We rebuild. Today I stood in my grandmother's garden and planted a single white rose bush. I named it Rebirth because I'm not the spare, I'm the seed that survived. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a wild new story.